there was something that I heard on a video that the Tampa Bay Buccaneers posted today over at One Buck Place, and it was from Graham Barton, rookie center who was just named the starter from head coach Todd Bowles. And they asked him during this video, what is the one game that you're looking forward to the most? And he said, the Super Bowl. Now, to some people, you look at this and go, yeah, what's the big deal? Of course, he's got these lofty aspirations. Um, and maybe it's just kind of like a tongue in cheek comment, but it's not. And here's why it isn't. I've gotten a chance to interview a bunch of guys one on one this year. I wanted to do something different at training camp. I wanted to go to the other side of the field, and I wanted to try to interview individual players and have some exclusive content for us on Jay and Zach, and also for my social media platforms. And I implore you to go back to whether it's my TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. All the videos are up there. My interviews with guys like, who did I talk to? KJ Britt, Jalen McMillan, and Cody Mauk, and Graham Barton, guys like that. And from a couple of the guys, including a guy like Kate Otten, they were not shy in saying that their goal, when I asked them about personal goals, a lot of the guys, the first thing they said for their personal goals was to help this team win a Super Bowl. And you don't always hear that from players because whether they're afraid of putting the cart before the horse, they haven't even played a regular season game yet. Their goal, you would think is to make the playoffs, win the division, and then, all right, we'll talk about the Super Bowl when we get there. But this team is not shying away from having lofty aspirations, of saying that their goal is to go to and to win the Super Bowl. Now you may ask, where did this all start? Where did this all come from? And if you remember, a couple weeks ago, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers posted this video on their social media accounts, and it was Todd Bowles talking to his team, and he was letting them know, kind of like what the focus should be this year. It was Todd Bowles letting this team know that, all right, yeah, we want to win the division, but we want to win a Super Bowl here. That's where your focus should be. Now, he also added in there like, hey, you got to take care of the daily process, right? You got to take care of the little things. You got to attack every day, one day at a time, and focus on that. You can't skip any steps. But I like the fact that Todd Bowles gave such an impassioned speech. You can go back and check it out on the Bucs social media platforms. It was 6 minutes long, and that they cut it down. He was letting his players know, like, dream big. And for a guy like Todd Bowles, who has been heavily criticized for being a quieter guy, for not having any passion, they want more of a guy that's a rah-rah guy. Like, Todd Bowles isn't that dude. Don't mistake his quietness for weakness, or for a guy that doesn't have passion, and a guy that doesn't care, and a guy that doesn't strive to win. And Todd Bowles has shown you in the last couple of years that, like, he's learning, he's evolving, he's becoming a better coach. And you saw it in that video. That's a guy that's filled with passion. He looks pretty stoic on the sideline, but don't think that is a man that's patrolling that sideline without any emotion. And you heard it in that video. He's imploring these guys, go out there, have these high goals, set that bar high. A division championship isn't good enough. You guys should go out there and to believe and to know that you can win every game out there. I like that. Hell, I love that. And for certain teams, I would be a little worried. For certain teams, I'd look at that and say, what are you doing? Why are you saying things like this? But just think about the team that he's talking to. This is a guy that knows what it looks like. He has a Super Bowl ring. Don't forget, he was the defensive coordinator just a couple of years ago under Bruce Arians. Think about some of the guys that are in that auditorium listening to him speak. The Levante Davids of the world, the Mike Evans of the world, the Will Golstons of the world, guys that have been to the top of the mountain, that have their own Super Bowl ring. I'm sure as hell that those guys appreciated that sentiment. Look at a guy like Baker Mayfield, thrown away by multiple teams. He was a bust. He never lived up to the lofty expectations. He doesn't want to just make the playoffs. He wants to etch his name into immortality as well and win a Super Bowl. You look at the guys on the defense as well. Look at, to go along, I just mentioned Levante David, but Antoine Winfield Jr., right? He knows what that tastes like. Jamel Dean, Jordan Whitehead. You think Jordan Whitehead Didn't want to come back and try to win another Super Bowl with the Buccaneers. Like, think about these kind of things. This team should feel like this. This team should set the bar high. Who cares what the outside noise is? Nobody in 2020 thought the Buccaneers were going to win the Super Bowl. They believed when nobody else did. And right now, with everybody looking at Atlanta, that's the sexy pick. Everybody thinks that they're going to be the bee's knees this year. Tampa Bay Buccaneers, in a certain way, are flying under the radar. But that's to the national media. That's to the pundits outside of the building over there at One Buccaneer Place. Because when you listen to Todd Bowles say that, hey, you should have lofty goals, you should believe that you're a Super Bowl contender. And then it wasn't just Todd that said that. Now you're hearing it from multiple players, young and old, that believe that this team could be a Super Bowl contender. It doesn't matter if nobody else believes. It just matters if they believe. And I like that type of attitude. I kept trying to talk myself out of it. This isn't a good thing. You don't want to hear this from certain teams. I mean, you really kind of don't even hear the Kansas City Chiefs talk like this. And they've won back-to-back Super Bowls. But there's just certain teams. I think when you have a veteran head coach, when you have a veteran quarterback, when you have champions on both sides of the ball, I don't think this is asinine one bit. I think it's good to have some type of visualization. I think it's good to speak these kind of things into existence. And I'm excited for the 2024 season. The more I hear, the more I see from the Buccaneers, the more I like. And the more I think they're just going to prove all of the naysayers wrong. Keep doubting Tampa Bay. Keep on doing it. But it'll be to your own peril. Because this team, they're setting their goals high. And I can't wait to see them try and reach that top of the mountain once again.